I want to teach on, I think, one of the most valuable things I have ever learned. And I learned by experience. I didn't sit in a room and concoct this idea. How to handle the no's. Because you're going to hear a lot of no's. In other words, it's how to handle rejection, because a no feels like a personal rejection. And I've talked about how to handle rejection, how to turn rejection into redirection. I've talked about that on the show. But I wanted to go a little bit deeper here on a 4-step process to handle the no's. Because the operating word here is handle. Like, I got to get my hands on these no's, and I got to really deal with it. I can't ignore the no's. I've got to handle the no. So here's how you do it. Number one, when you get a no, and by the way, I'm going to tell the audience here, Joe, this is not just professional advice. This is personal in nature. What I'm about to share will help you in relationships as well, whether it be of a romantic version or just a personal relationship in life. Okay, here we go. Number one. You've got to reflect. When you hear a no, you need to spend some time reflecting on the no. Here's what I mean. Why did I get a no? In other words, did the person who gave me the no, did they tell me why? Hopefully they did. Absent of them telling you why the no, you want to do as much introspection as possible to look at the situation and go, what do I think is the reason that I got the no? But you're going to have some evidence, direct or indirect, as to why you got a no. Why'd you get the no? Now, you're going to keep looking at that. Okay? What could I have done better? What could I have done differently? You've got to reflect on it. Now, that leads to the second step. You got to correct it. So once I've reflected on what I could have done differently, what I wouldn't have done, what I could have done better, this idea of reflecting on the whole situation. Now you're going to come away with some conclusions. And so now you have to accept that and say, okay, I'm going to make the corrections. If I can make the corrections now, or I realize that when I get in the next situation like this, I'm going to correct that. So that's step 2, correct. First is reflect. Step 2, correct. Now, once I have reflected and I know what I need to correct, and so I'm in a good mindset for the future, and I can deal with maybe some stuff that maybe I have to apologize for and get right, whatever the situation is, I've corrected what I needed to correct. Now I need to redirect. The idea here is that I'm going to redirect my focus from I reflected on the no, I've corrected the things I need to correct. Now I'm going to redirect my attention to moving forward. I'm moving forward now. I'm not going to wallow in the past. I'm not going to soak in the failure or the rejection. I'm going to move forward. That's the redirect. Redirect your focus, and you will see that you will be able to redirect your action. And so now we're really on the other side of this deal, and we're better for it. And that leads to step 4, connect. Connect. Get back in the game. That's all this is. Hey, I have reflected on the situation. I have learned what I needed to learn from the failure or the rejection, and I have corrected it. And now I've redirected my attention to the future, and that means I've got to connect. Because connections with people are the fuel for your journey. Simple. As I continue to make connections with all of the vital information that I have learned and that I have acted upon, now I've got a new focus. And I need new connections. I need new opportunities. And opportunities always come from what? It's the proximity principle. Opportunities come from being around the right people and in the right places. There's the formula. The right people plus the right places equals opportunity for you. If you Get that. The right people plus the right places equals opportunity. People are going to be knocking on your door. People are going to come to you and say, hey, I heard about you, or I've noticed you here, and I've seen you show up and do the little things. I want you on my team. We overthink the break, the breakthrough, the big opportunity. It's not this mystical thing that wafts through the air like the smell of perfume and lands on a few fortunate souls' shoulders. That's not what happens. There is intentionality. So, little extra teaching there. A little how to handle the nose and then use the proximity principle on the end of that. Connection. So, quick review. You got to reflect, you got to correct, you redirect, and then connect. The 4 things you do to handle the no's in your life.